that my neighbors were rooting pretty hard for Floyd Mayweather. I mean, for Logan Paul.
Were they?
Yes. And
young Latino kids do love vloggers.
Not only that, but Mexican boxing fans hate Floyd Mayweather
because of he came out in the sombrero that one time. The
sombrero thing when who was he fighting on that one? Was that Canelo or was that?
I don't think that was Canelo. It was. Did he fight? He fought De La Hoya, right? Floyd. Yeah, he really did. He's Floyd sombrero. What fight was that? Yeah, I don't have it right here.
Miguel. It could have been Miguel Cotto.
It was 2000. It was Oscar De La Hoya in 2007.
Yeah.
Very funny though.
Yeah, De La Hoya was legit. That was a big victory.
Did you watch the fight?
I did. I watched the fight. Although we were, stealing it because I refused to pay for that shit.
That's what I was about to say, dude. Who is in the fucking right mind is at this point in time paying for anything?
I do have a subscription to DAZN. Are you familiar with them?
Yes.
DAZN. That's a great. I do not regret that at all. It's $20 a month, which is a little bit steep, but they get most of the big fights are on DAZN these days. So you don't have to get pay-per-views, and that's included in the $20 a month. Yeah. Plus, they have an archive of a shitload of old fights.
Yeah, the same way that your roommate has his WWF subscription.
Well, that's now on Peacock.
Oh, that's all on Peacock.
Yeah, so for $5 a month, you get the dude. I feel like I'm like the Spectrum guy now. I'm trying to for DAZN, $20 a month, all the boxing matches you want to see, and also if you like WWE, we got the Peacock package. That's $5 a month.
Well, beforehand, he had the WWF thing, so there was multiple times at your house where we were just watching old WWF, and we knew like he was basically just watching wrestling through the years in order.
Yeah,
he's pretty much all caught up on wrestling.
Yeah, he's at Raw 2001 is where he's at right now.
Yeah,
so he finished the 90s. But it was pretty great for him because he was on the free trial. He got a 3-month free trial because he got 1 month free trial and it screwed up. He complained, got an extra 2 free months. And then as soon as that 3 months was over, they moved it over to Peacock. So for $5 a month, he gets all of the WWE and they have all the WCW too.
Oh, Jesus. And he can also watch The Mayor with Ted Danson.
They also have ECW too, which means you can watch fucking New Jack try to kill like a non-wrestler and not go to jail. Have you ever watched documentaries about New Jack?
No.
You know who New Jack is?
From like wrestling lore, I do, but
he's a black wrestler. He's famous for having a scarred up forehead. His forehead is super scarred up from all the barbed wire and shit. But he just died. R.I.P. New Jack.
Yeah, he just died May 14th.
Yeah. He was incredible, but there was a couple times where he legit stabbed people. And they were like amateur wrestlers.
In the ring or just kind of?
In the ring. Just right in front of people. And he escaped jail time for both of them. He legit shivved 2 wrestlers and didn't go to jail.
He got away with it in the way that a comedian gets away with smoking.
No,
it's part of a live performance.
Listen, it's a part of the cabaret act of 1952, where if you're stabbing somebody in front of people, if tickets were sold to the stabbing, it's no longer a crime. Yeah, I don't know. ECW had like an Isle of Man thing where it's like, hey, murder is legal here.
Yeah, that's right. You going to come? It's basically like Death Row Records, where it's like you fucking tired of not being able to kill a motherfucker in the ring. Come over to ECW. Was ECW the one where the ring was shaped oddly?
No.
That was TNA, maybe.
Yeah, that's total nonstop action. Yeah, no. ECW had the regular squared circle, and but they were known for like having like that's where Mick Foley broke in. That's where like Sabu, Raven, all the people who were just not really athletes, but would just throw themselves off of.
Yeah, back in the day, to be a wrestler, you either had to be a like crazy athlete or a slot receiver style dude who was willing to snap his spine and get it resealed every night.
Yeah,
to knock your stack of dimes in half.
Yeah, dude, New Jack was a mess, but he was hilarious. But he started out in the South on some Memphis promotion, and they started out as like kind of Nation of Islam type of people, where they were like that
was their thing, is that they were like Islamic dudes.
I don't think they were necessarily Islamic. They were like black supremacists.
Okay.
And so like he was like, there's a promo on the internet. It's a famous promo. Him being like, shout out to brother OJ for doing his thing. You know, OJ, what I say? That's two less we got to worry about, brother. Two less we got to worry. And people are just like, boo! Boo, boo!
Dude, that kicks ass. That's what wrestling needs to be, is shit like that. And that's why I feel like that's where wrestling is missing the mark these days.
Yeah, it's owned by Disney. It's family friendly now.
Yeah, fucking Vince McMahon. We were just talking before the thing about Vince McMahon humiliating Trish Stratus in the ring.
Yeah,
Matt Lauer style.
Like a dog.
Matt Lauer style, dude.
Yeah, dude. But as far as I don't think it's necessarily an apology is in order, but I'll put it this way. I think I may have been too hard on Triller, and I'll tell you why. Because when you watch these circus show boxing matches and there isn't all the other nonsense, it's even worse. I didn't think I could say that, but
there was a little bit of nonsense though.
There was a little bit of nonsense with the announcers, but it wasn't like Triller. I don't like any of their decisions they made, and I don't like any of their creative decisions they made, except for when they had Israel Adesanya. I thought he was awesome. But like beyond that, I didn't like the announcing team. I didn't like the musicians they chose.
Okay, so sorry. Who it was announcing? It was DeSuze and Mero, they're fine. They're a nice
Bodega Boys.
I like them.
They're fine. Yeah.
But who was the other guy? There was one guy that who?
Shab.
Shab was a part of that too?
DeSuze and Mero and Shab were like the hot girls who like interview in the back. There.
Yeah, but there was one more guy announcing who was like, and tonight we're about to see some of the
he's the Showtime. That's the Showtime announcer. He does all the real fights.
That guy was kind of funny.
He does MMA too.
He was like,
when he was calling the Mayweather Paul fight, the fact that he was able to pretend that was interesting at all, I was like, he's earning a fucking paycheck tonight.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But before we get into the actual fight, I just want to say that I don't agree with all the choices Triller made, but I do realize that they were on the right path, where it's like if you're going to have these goofy fights, if you're going to have this Chad Johnson running a route in the ring to avoid getting hit, if you're going to have did you see Ocho Cinco's fight?
I did.
Yeah, he got laid out, dude.
You know what's funny that I've never seen before is he got laid out basically unconscious, but then he was in the crowd for the Mayweather fight.
Yeah, well, he's a football player. He knows.
But that's what I'm saying. Usually those guys go to the hospital.
Yeah, no.
He was just in the crowd standing with like a chick. He also, after the fight, said that he's ready for McGregor. Which is, dude, Chad Johnson is so goddamn funny. Do you remember that there was that period of time where he was pulling up on people to play FIFA and shit? He was like driving 100 miles to people's houses to play him in FIFA and fucking eating McDonald's every day. Like,
I do remember that he live streamed Roger Stone getting.
He was on a jog and he saw Roger Stone get arrested by the FBI.
Damn, I didn't know Roger Stone lived in this neighborhood.
Dude, Chad Johnson is so fucking funny.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just out on my morning run. And I see the FBI raiding Roger Stone and he's live streaming it. It's so fucking funny.
So with the fight.
Wait, hold on. I just want to say about Triller, though, it's just so, like when you watch these awful fights, you realize that you do need to sandwich in other forms of entertainment to make it worth anything.
Yes.
I just think they need somebody who is not a 47-year-old black man from Oakland or whoever it is. Like it's some outdated or a 47-year-old white man from, I don't know who the fuck did it, but they need somebody maybe a little younger, more in tuned because but like a better show around if the Paul brothers are going to keep fighting, although they did sign contracts with Showtime, so it's not going to be Triller anymore. But as far as the fight is concerned, did it look like to you? And I'm not saying it was racist. I'm not saying that, but like did you ever see the movie The Toy with Richard Pryor?
No.
It came out, I don't know, the 70s or something. It's like an old fucking movie. It used to be on Comedy Central all the time. But it's about this rich white kid who hires like a black friend who's older than him, and he has to do, for a good paycheck, he has to do everything the kid wants to do. And that's what that boxing match looked. It looked like Logan Paul just rented Floyd Mayweather and threw himself a party, like the way a dictator throws himself a giant birthday party.
Yeah. Yes. Logan Paul looked massive next to Floyd.
He looked roided. Actually.
He looked huge. I mean, the fight itself was very fucking boring.
Did Logan Paul knocked him out?
That's what I was going to bring up. Do you think that's what happened, that Floyd knocked him out and held him up?
Yes, it's called a flash knockdown. It's where it's a flash knockdown is not a real knockout. It's where you get stunned, like almost like a stinger for your brain. It just shuts off real quick, but then you can get it back really quick. Floyd definitely held his carcass. I mean, his arms were limp. Everything was limp on him. Now, I do think that Logan was trained to do like what Tyson Fury does to fighters because he's so much bigger, to just lean all your body on somebody to tire him out. I think he was trained because people are like, that's a lot of hugging. And I'm like, yeah, it's called clinching. I mean, it was a little bit of hugging.
It was a lot of clinching, but I've never seen it that constant before where it looked like Logan was just trying to survive.
He was exhausted.
Yeah, he had no stamina in that entire thing.
Well, also Floyd just like every now and then he would fuck around and just knock the wind out of his sternum.
Yeah, he would Floyd was toying with it.
Yes. Yeah, the announcer said it was like a cat playing with his food.
Yeah, but I'm surprised that Floyd never went for the kill. Why do you think that never happened?
Because Floyd, in the history of his career, has never gone for the kill.
But he could have easily done it that night.
Floyd has never been an aggressive boxer in his life. That's why like everybody's like, yo, Floyd's going to knock him out. I said it last episode. I said, there's no way he's going to knock him out. Floyd, you know how many knockouts Floyd's had in the last 15 years? 4.
I think, it's like nothing. And one of them is, you know what I thought was going to happen was
one of them is
Logan. Logan didn't seem to understand the rules because there was times where they would come out of the clinch and Logan would be kind of just standing there and Floyd would jab the shit out of him in the ribs. And then Logan would look to the ref like, what the fuck? And the ref was like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the knockout Floyd had?
That's what that reminded me of. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Is I thought they were going to come out of a clinch. Logan was not going to understand the rules and fucking Floyd was just going to level him.
Yeah. I just think that Floyd wanted to go 8 rounds. I think he just wanted the whole thing. He just wanted to have fun. I don't think he's like, I'm retired. But I got to tell you, I am so goddamn sick. I've watched a lot of commentary on Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul. I've watched ESPN talk about it. I've watched, shout out to my new favorite podcast, the Porter Way podcast, Sean Porter's podcast. I've watched them talk about it. I've watched Teddy Atlas talk about it. I forget who else, Pat McAfee. I am so sick of these motherfuckers just saying, hey, respect to Floyd for getting his money though. It's like, I'm so sick of that. How much money does this motherfucker need? And does legacy mean anything to anybody? Are we all just so fucking money driven and so sick that we have to respect that the fact that he conned, I don't know how, although apparently the pay-per-view numbers were not nearly what they expected and they didn't even sell at the stadium. So people are a little wiser than I gave them credit for. But like, I don't feel that way. I feel like he's got enough money. I feel like this shouldn't have happened. It's embarrassing for boxing. It's embarrassing for him. This is how people are going to remember him. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to remember the guy who knocked out Ricky Hatton, the guy who beat Miguel Cotto, the guy who beat De La Hoya, the guy who beat Canelo Alvarez, the only person besides Triple G who was screwed out of his win, but the only guy on record to ever beat Canelo Alvarez. This guy's one of the greatest boxers to ever live, and we're going to remember him not knocking out Logan Paul. And that means nothing to him.
Well, he's going to fight Jake too.
No, he isn't.
You don't think he's going to?
No, I don't. Jake is so much better than Logan.
He really is.
Yeah, Logan.
But it's also because Jake is fucking deranged. Jake is fucking stupid. Yeah, and Logan is like an actual decent person.
Yeah. Jake is a little off his rocker.
Yeah.
He's gonna beat Tyron Woodley. I think I'm gonna. If the odds are in the favor of Tyron, I'm voting. I mean, betting. Sorry, for Jake.
Yeah. I was just sharing screen real quick. You ever see this?
What?
Holyfield versus Mitt Romney.
What the fuck? You're never supposed to see a politician with his shirt off.
I know. I thought that was my exact first thought was whenever you said that Trump didn't get the vaccine in public because he doesn't want to roll up his sleeves.
Yes. First of all, look how beautiful Mitt Romney's head is and look how horrendous his body is because he's supposed to be in a suit. Although his body is way better than Trump's. But get your hands up, dude.
This is
funny.
Beyond
Andrew just
he just fucking lost it completely. Like just went completely PTSD and just fucking leveled Mitt Romney.
All of a sudden, he's just seeing Michael Moore in front of him, and he just knocks out.
Oh man, that was very funny during the fight. Whenever they showed Evander Holyfield, and it was either one of Daisy's mayor was like, "Get the good side, get the good side. You don't want to see that other side. You don't want to see the other ear."
Dude, you got to pull up because I don't have screen sharing right yet, and I don't want to waste time getting it. But pull up Mexican politician boxing. There is a politician in Mexico back in the day who got silicone muscle implants.
Oh, I've seen this. Yes, yes, that is so fucking funny.
Yeah, and the guy just takes a dive. They probably had his wife like a sword to his wife's throat. Like he just takes a dive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I couldn't believe
they're good.
I could, but I can't.
The Jarrett Hurd fight was really good.
I didn't watch anything besides the Ocho Cinco fight.
There was two. Yeah, you watched the spectacles.
Of course, yeah.
There was two real fights in the middle there. I got to ask you this as a casual. That's what they call. Listen,
as a civilian.
I know. I was going to say it's annoying when comedians call non-comedian civilians, and when boxing fans call non-boxing fans casual fans. I'm being equally as annoying. But for sake of description, as a casual fan, why are you more inclined to tune in to Floyd Mayweather fighting Logan Paul versus two in their prime real ass boxers? What brings you to that? I truly don't, because I'm watching it and I go, I truly don't understand. I don't understand why people bought this, why they care.
I think so
it was on Sunday and football's in the off season. That's literally why I watch it.
When it comes to me specifically, I'm a great mark.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to anything, I love touristy shit. I love all kind. I'll fall into any tourist trap.
So if you went to Paris, you would definitely go to the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, I would go to absolutely.
Yeah, I've never been there. Still, been to that town many times.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I would do. I'm a big time mark. That's my personal thing. Is I'm a mark, and I mean, I thought that fucking Ben Askren was going to win. You know, it's like
I'll say I didn't think Ben Askren was going to get knocked out. I really didn't think that.
I put money on Ben Askren.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm a perfect like sucker. What in every sense of the word, I'm a sucker. So that's why but I also, in my mind, I'm like, what if Logan Paul knocks out Floyd Mayweather? I want to see that. But also I'm like, what if Floyd Mayweather knocks out Logan Paul? I kind of also want to see that. And it's the spectacle of the whole thing. It's the same reason that people who usually don't watch football would watch the Super Bowl. It's a spectacle.
Right. See, that's why I've always been an NFC, AFC championship guy. Those are my favorite games of the season because they're the last regular football game and they're the last it's just the halftime show isn't long and it's not about the commercials. Yeah. I don't know. I get so sad when I think about
it's the home run derby for me.
Yeah.
Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather is a home run derby. It's not really a lot of skill. It's people. It's kind of just going for it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can tell how you really see how unimportant muscles are to a hard punch because Logan Paul unloaded and connected on Floyd Mayweather's face, and it did nothing to Floyd because he didn't put his body into it. He was just arm punching him, and
he was punching like he was fighting like his little brother from the side, like two like whenever brothers are fighting but they're also scream crying, that's the way that Logan was punching. It was versus Jake is a much better fighter.
Yeah, Jake and he's still not good, but he has Jake's overhand right is legit. It's professional boxer level strength.
Yeah,
he's got power. I
don't think Logan has a future in boxing. I think Jake has a future in
boxing. Logan will move to MMA. His next fight will be MMA.
You think so?
Yeah, because he's a wrestler. He was all-state Ohio wrestler.
Okay. Maybe he'll wrestle Ben Askren.
He'll move. Ben gets just another 30 mil just to be fat and lose.
Dude, I don't think that Logan, I don't know if he would do MMA because I don't think he's going to want to get maybe he'll do a grappling match, but I don't think he'll want to do like a fucking knee to the face MMA thing.
I think he would. I don't think you buy a compound in Puerto Rico. I don't think you leave the entertainment capital of the world as one of the biggest entertainers in the world to exclusively set up a fight camp permanently year round in Puerto Rico unless you're serious. Like these dudes are serious about it. As goofy as they are, they're They're legit serious.
Yeah, I just don't see Logan having a future in this thing, dude.
I mean, it's just how long until he doesn't sell tickets? You know what I mean? Like if he keeps selling tickets.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying competitive boxing wise, but you're right when it comes to he'll sell tickets forever because people want to see him get knocked out. But maybe it's until he gets knocked out.
Dude, Jake Paul is such a funny troll at the end when he's like, "My brother just beat Floyd Mayweather."
Yeah,
let that sink in. He beat Floyd Mayweather. And you're like,
that's so funny, dude.
Such a funny troll, dude.
Yeah, Jake Paul. Yeah, he does make me laugh very hard.
He made me laugh when he unfollowed everybody on Instagram except for Ben Askren's wife, and then ESPN asked him, "Why do you follow just Ben Askren's wife?" And he goes, "She's thick." And the reporter goes, "I'm sorry? She's thick with 2 C's."
That's so funny, dude. Holy guacamole. Yeah, right, dude.
Shakur Stevenson is fighting this Saturday.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not going to recommend that to you because it's not. But for boxing fans, I would recommend it because this guy, legit. I'm dead serious. This guy legit could eventually be pound for pound #1 in the world. Like he's 22 years old. He only lacks power. That's the only thing he lacks. But beyond that, his defense is unreal. His offense is unreal. And he's 22 years old, and he is so fucking good. He is so goddamn good. I'm really excited. This is a step up for him, but it's still not a step all the way up. But if he wins this, he should be able to fight somebody like Tank or somebody big, some Gervonta Davis type. But I'm very excited about that one.
Does it worry you that all these guys might just want to start fighting the Paul brothers because the money is better?
I don't think that's going to happen because there's no way the Paul brothers are going to take these guys.
Yeah.
There's no way. I bet, like, listen, if they, I mean, and also for them, that's easy money. And that's just a couple months off from the regular circuit. Like if Tank wants to go fight Jake Paul for $10 million and knock him out in a round, he can be back in the ring in 2 months going back for belt.
Yeah.
And his clout is that much higher. So it might but there's no fucking way in the world the Paul brothers are going to invite fucking Artur Beterbiev or somebody in their weight class to fight. I mean, they would literally kill them.
Yeah, Logan's a lot bigger than Jake too.
What does Jake weigh? Because they don't have to make weight for any of their fights. That's another thing they don't have to worry about. Because
Jake Paul is 155.
No fucking way. That's what Floyd weighs.
No, Jake Paul's 190.
Yeah. So in boxing, if you're walking around at 190, you should be fighting around 170, 175. So Jake Paul either needs to be a real boxer and cut weight, or he's going to be fighting at 190, which is a person who walks around at 220, 215.
Yeah.
And he's going to get his face smushed in. Either way, at those weights, when you get above 168 and above, those guys are all that's heavyweight power almost all the way up. And
see, what I want to see is like a 2-on-2 or a 2-on-1 fight. Does that show my lack of respect for boxing? Because that's something that
would have to be UFC.
Like a triple threat, fatal four.
Because in boxing, you can't punch behind.
Yeah, it's fair.
So
maybe a tag team boxing match.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would make more sense. And as opposed to us all pretending that they're real boxers, they might as well fuck it up on that level. And so it's a little more honest, honestly.
Yeah.
It is.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But I mean, boxing is so exciting right now. There's so many 22 and 23-year-old studs out there right now with Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Davis, with Ryan Garcia, with Devin Haney. There's Teofimo Lopez. All these guys are under 24 years old and they're studs, dude. But the problem is it's just people don't buy the lower weight classes.
That's my thing too, is with boxing, I like heavyweight fighting. And that's why I think Tyson was a maniac, but that's why I think it was so big is because people were getting knocked out. People don't want to see a fight go the distance.
Yeah, I mean, Tank is knocking motherfuckers out. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I like fights going the distance because in my mind, I'm such a cheap bastard. I'm like, if I pay for this, you better give me all 12 fucking rounds. I don't want any of this knockout bullshit.